Hey, Kopitz.
Thank you, Kevin. It's appreciated. And we are off. Camilo going off already, and due to the stream lag, we're getting SuperViperT start a little late, but our streamer Mythical9 will sync up their streams in no time. We see already that they're both using the US version. The difference between the Japanese and US versions are not super important in a race setting, and especially at their current level, but that's interesting to note. All right, so before this race starts, can I get on chat a quick test of who are you guys rooting for? Who wants to have Camilo win, and who's rooting for SuperViper?
Two big boys here. Been in the community for a while. I think Camilo a little bit newer than SuperViper. And our PBs here, SuperViper at an advantage PB-wise has a 50. And Camilo, I believe, has a 53. He might have gotten a PB. Is that correct, Ash?
Yep, unless he got a PB on like the last 2 days. They're both at those. SuperViper is at 50-18, and ARWYCamilo is at 53-12. We see them already going into Bom-omb's battlefield, doing bomb clip, both of them getting lucky to skip, so that's good for both of them.
Pity in the chat claiming he got a 52. Cryptic getting kind of violent in the chat, causing some controversy here. Commentator not really sure of what he's talking about. Didn't actually know the PB there, but we both got our boys clipping into that fence, and they are neck and neck right here. This is going to be interesting. SuperViper, yes, does have a better PB, but Camilo, mainly a 120 player, has been working on his 70 star time and definitely is capable of a 50 or a 49. So these boys are very close in skill level. Both opt in for slide first.
Yep, both of them are going to go down the route that is usually known as Womps 9, which means that they are going to do this first slide start first, and then they are going to go right into Womps. And with these two first stars, the bomb clip and the slide, they will exit Womps with 9 stars total. The alternative is doing Womps 8, which skips this first slide star and does it after Womps. That usually loses about a second. So we were not going to see route divergence just yet. In fact, it seems like the routes are actually going to be exactly the same. Both of them are going to opt to do CCM 18, and both of them are going to do TTC 100. So we're not going to see any route divergence here. We're going to be able to see them do the exact same stars at the exact same time, hopefully.
Hopefully. We got a lot of routes in 70, and that new route emerging just this past week, where you go upstairs early, causing a ruckus in the community. A lot of people really liking it, but SuperViper getting a bonk. And Camilo failing the ledge grab there. Both taking a fall, but SuperViper does get it, and Camilo.
Yep, it is worthy of note that this Owless trick, this trick involves a triple jump and a wall kick off of the cage. It's very, very complicated. It is a 2-frame trick, and it is not very consistent. In terms of, you have to be really, really consistent with your execution if you really want to nail it every single time. And as you can see, it's not easy even for runners of this caliber. Both of them had a little hitch there as they tried to get it.
That's right. All correct things being stated here tonight, and SuperViper having to do half cycle, I believe it's called, and Camilo getting the cycle that he wanted.
And real quickly, I can confirm that Camilo's PB is 52:27, so about 40 seconds faster than his previous PB, or 35 seconds faster, rather.
And he was actually on, I think, 50 or 51 pace on that run, going into Tippy.
His sum of best is actually 50:07. And I mean, we all know how fickle the sum of bests is, and how it's not exactly, and how it's probably like a far off in the distance in terms of what you see in your sum of bests and what you tend to actually get. But that demonstrates that these two runners are actually really, really close in terms of skill.
Shoutouts to TJ in the chat here. Camilo now going for Cannonless, leaving it for last. Interesting choice. Doing the classic setup and does grab that ledge, gets that star. Just what he wanted. Depending on where you... And Super Viper missing it there.
That's unfortunate.
Possibly because of where he ledge grabbed. Really, that's... As long as you're doing everything right every time, where you ledge grab next to the pegboard, what would you call that board?
A plank. I just call it a plank.
The plank. Depending on where you grab the ledge next to the plank is a big part of whether or not you're going to get that star. And it does lose quite a bit of time, so Super Viper a little bit lagging behind here because of that mistake, but definitely able to make it up. Not out of this thing by any means.
Yep. And he does manage to get it. He did not lose an excessive amount of time, is a good thing, because that's the reason most of the runners leave shoot into the wild blue to be done after a cannonless, because in case they miss cannonless like Super Viper did, they can just keep going in that same direction and go get shoot into the wild blue before they try again. If they fail it twice, though, that's what actually loses a fair amount of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact amount of time it loses. Maybe around... Maybe 10? It's pretty rough, because if you do cannonless, you get like a 14, I think, with the setup.
Yep, and you do have to take into account that they are attempting to lose as little time as possible by moving into the same direction that they failed cannonless in order to go towards shoot into the wild blue. But you have to take into account that they've already had to lose the time of the setup that they're going to have to do again. So that does lose a bit of time. Hopefully it won't be too much. I mean, none of them have had a perfectly clear Womb's Fortress. They've been kind of back and forth, and even now they're only about 30 seconds apart. I would say not even that, maybe 20.
Yeah, it does look kind of like a big gap. Mario really zooms around this castle pretty quick, especially when you're speedrunning it. Super Viper just kind of missing there the jump, but getting there in a timely manner. And Camilo bonking on the slide, taking a 14.2. That's going to hurt him. Super Viper. Here's this opening to strike.
Yep, that lost him about 1.5 seconds over his usual, if I'm not mistaken. He usually gets 12.9, 12.8. So, and Super Viper does get the 12.9, which puts them at about 26 seconds apart.
And TJ being welcomed back into the Talented Young Scuba Diving Association Club tonight. Camilo flying around, making it look easy. This flying is by no means easy. You're using a lot of speed. Mario's moving quick. It's hard to maneuver. Super Viper kind of zooming around, but getting those reds.
And ARWYCamilo gets the jump, otherwise known as stack skip, where you jump off of the switch and manage to get the star before touching the ground. That way you avoid triggering the text box that informs you of how the red boxes work.
Precisely. Saves big time if you can get it. And both of our players tonight getting it, of course, but heading to the first scary stage here, Dark World. I think every race, but Camilo starting with a ground pound, I think every race I've watched, I've seen somebody die here. This is very scary level. Runners got to pay attention to what they're doing. Keep their eyes on the prize here.
Yep, and even if they manage to not die, this is still a very stressful stage because it's on a very, very tight timer. You're going to see that Camilo is going to get, as Camilo gets closer to that area of the stage, that there are some platforms going around in circles, and you have to get there as one of the platforms is right under that third red coin that you see on Camilo's screen right now, and Camilo manages to get the fast cycle. So you can only make that cycle if your movement is nigh perfect. It's very stressful even when you have your movement down.
And Camilo taking a bonk here, and Super Viper ledge grabbing there, losing a little bit of time. Both of our boys, a little bit of a sloppy ending here, but they are making the cycle, not dying, and that honestly is so huge. This is looking to be a good race right now.
Yep. They are barely 15 seconds apart. The gap is closing between them. And here we see Camilo going right into the first Bowser fight.
Camilo missing it.
Uh,
Sticky fingers here. Doesn't release it on time, but does get that second throw. It's pretty nice because if you miss the first throw, you're not spinning him fast enough to throw him off, so you just quickly get over there and pick him up again. But SuperViper getting into a bit of a fight with Bowser. Can't quite throw him there. Not strong enough. And again, trying to pick him up and do a quick toss. He's panicking, but gets him into the bomb.
all right,
Lands
so
that
Camilo
hit.
picked up the key at 15 past. Let's see how far he is from SuperViper, because they are really, really close together for already having 12 keys. And we see they are about 13 seconds apart. That is very, very close, especially on this stage of the race.
Definitely. Definitely a nail biter. Both of them going to go for Island Hop. Sorry, not Island Hop. What is this trick called? Commentators not aware, don't even know what this trick's called, but Sky Jump.
Sky Jump. Thank you.
Commentator has to check his pocket gadget that tells him all the tricks when he asks it what it does. And audience confirming it's Sky Jump. Camilo doing it very well, SuperViper. This is another star that the timing's pretty tight for that triple jump on the slope, and if you miss it, you're going to have to redo it over again. SuperViper with a little bit of a lack of speed there, but also getting it.
To simply... oh, Jesus, I've forgotten how to speak in English today. Hello, audience. My name is Asharia. To simply scribe right there, Island Hop is the name of another trick that allows you to get onto that island. The difference is that you do it without the wing cap as opposed to with it.
Correct. Camilo rolling out, making good use of the mechanic that when Mario rolls out, he takes no fall damage and doesn't get stuck in snow, quickly snagging that expert wall kicks will work movement. And SuperViper opting for the safer movement, gonna roll around and then come back.
Yep, it does take a...
Oh, that triple jump through the fence! Look at Crisp! Sorry. I got pretty hyped there.
Yep. All right, and as we mentioned, both of them are going to be doing CCM 18, which means that they are both going to be doing this first slide star alone, and then they will bundle the second slide star, aka the Penguin Race, with the 100 coin star. That means that they will be exiting CCM with 18 stars, and they will not have to do an extra star later in the run. So they are both going to choose this route. It's slightly less safe than CCM 17, but some people just prefer doing it because it shaves off time off of CCM and it shaves off time, and
Shaving time here.
It actually lets them not have to worry about another star later in the run. Other stars that they could be doing, like THI Reds or SSL Secrets, or a Toxic Maze is a popular one. But some runners just prefer to keep to these early stars, especially since the early game just allows you to have more of a reaction and know more or less where you are when you're looking at the later game.
And SuperViper, what was that? What did he do there? I missed the beginning of it. It's Camilo grabbing the tree and sliding on his belly here. He's good though. Sometimes you can fall off the edge there. You lose quite a bit of time, but Camilo handling Mario pretty well, sliding on his bum, and a nice rollout. Opting for some comfy strats here.
Yep, and he is going to go into the slide with 24 coins, which means he can miss at most 1 coin. However, he is experienced with this star. He knows how to miss exactly 1 coin on this slide. I've never seen him have any problems with it. And SuperViper opting for the exact same strat, same coin count.
Oh, Camilo missing 1 coin there. Can only miss 1 more. But really, that's probably the hardest part, is getting those coins. And he knows to slow down. He's probably gotten betrayed by the Penguin. Sometimes the Penguin just won't let you go over there to get the coins. And wraps it up nicely.
And he gets the last dicey coin and manages to make the star spawn on the last coin. That's exactly what he wants, because if it spawns anywhere past that, if it spawns on the second coin, on the second to last coin, it's fine. But anywhere past that, and he would not be able to reach the star with just the long jump. He would have to do backward kicks. SuperViper getting a
And both of our men wrapping up these stages now. Only seconds apart. Going ahead to BBH. Not super scary, but some things can happen here. You could slip off the top of the house. But hopefully they keep it under control here.
Mm-hmm. Hello, I'm back. Sorry about that. My wife had decided to kick me off.
Wife not really liking the commentating right now, trying to stop him, but nobody can stop him, and nobody can stop Camilo from getting this star right here, and Super Viper going for the other star. Both of them going to do the same stars here, though, tonight.
Yep. BBH is a rather fast stage in 70 star, which is rather good because it's a rather annoying stage in 120 star. All of the other stars require you to go through multiple rooms on on Big Boo's Haunt, and they're just not a good time, especially when you're collecting the last red coin or you're killing the last Boo and you happen to fall through the hole and end up at the merry-go-round level.
Yeah, if we were to watch a 120 star tournament, this would be a much, you'd be biting your nails, probably chip all of your nails down. If you had really long nails, you'd eat it all, bite them all off throughout the entire BBH. It gets kind of saucy in 120, but both of them cleanly making it out of BBH. No problems. Camilo rolling out down those stairs, not knowing that he needs to long jump, hits the invisible wall, kind of hitting the ceiling, just losing a couple frames, and Super Viper knows what he needs to do, goes for those long jumps, gaining some frames tonight.
And both of them going into the basement very cleanly. Camilo getting MIPS with absolutely no problem, and Super Viper is about to go for the same thing. For those who don't know, MIPS wasn't initially intended to be in the game. He was just an asset used to test physics in the engine in one of the testing rooms, but the developers grew so attached to him that they decided to keep him in the game.
I did not know that. That is a fun fact.
And both of them going into SSL. Camilo about to show us the very complicated trick that is Pillarless. Pillarless involves using the same kind of bomb clip that you use in the first stage of the run, in the first star. And he manages to clip right through the pyramid. Super Viper going for the exact same trick. Believe it or not, they're making it look easy, but it's extremely complicated to get this trick. Those multiple jumps that they do with the bomb at the beginning, where they do a double jump, then slide down the slope, etc., those involve a very, very careful lineup in order to actually make it into the hole. And then the ground pounds onto the shifting sand are there to prevent Mario from sinking in and dying an insta-death, because that shifting sand is not a good time.
The shifting sand shifts Mario below the sand, and it does a lot of damage, does knock him out of the level, but just expertly maneuvering out and not hitting any of that shifting sand. Camilo and Super Viper both showing up. They're here to play, and they want the W.
Mm-hmm. Another little fun fact about this stage, the shifting sand actually, during the death animation, affects the Mario's model. It makes it bigger so that his head blows up so that his cap is still visible as he reaches up during the death animation. It's not something noticeable if you're just playing casually, but next time you end up dying to SSL, take a look at it, because his head just gets bigger just so you can see him die.
Really? Commentator just mini machine gun with the fun facts right now. Other commentator really enjoying the fun facts and really enjoying this race right now.
What can I say? Take notes.
Commentator taking notes here. Other commentator pulling out a notepad, starting to take notes. And Camilo moving through LOL, but slipping there. He can't take any more damage here.
That is correct. He cannot take any more damage.
But he bugs! He doesn't get the wall kick. He bugs. Hits the lava again. That's going to cost him some time. And Super Viper getting that lava boost.
Super Viper showing us that magnificent lava boost. To answer Joe Random in the chat, yes, MIPS is actually the rabbit's name. It is confirmed by Nintendo. And another fun fact, MIPS is actually the name of the processor that the Nintendo 64 has. They named him that after the processor because it had been such a huge technological advancement that they wanted to reflect that in some way.
MIPS is just like, it's a nice little thing. Like I'd be fine with Mario if it didn't have MIPS, but the fact that it has MIPS, it's like, okay. This game is straight Fugo. Is that how you say it? Fuego?
Fuego, yes.
Commentator, not sure how to pronounce words, just trying them out and not really hitting it there. But Camilo going for these 3 bullies. One of the more complicated stars in LLL goes for the ground pound, gets all 3.
And gets the quick kill.
And if you side flip ground pound at the peak of the side flip to kill that last bully, you will save a little bit of time if you're just slightly below the peak because the big bully takes an extra bounce. And we got ourselves a hot race here in LLL.
Yep. Camilo tends to leave the 2 volcano stars for the end, so we're going to see him doing both lava boost strats one after the other. First doing the
Camilo just barely missing the time for that triple jump.
Manage to get the triple jump on the cascade, so he's going to do the casual strat and go all the way up. That is going to cost him, and having in mind how small of a lead he had up to now, that is probably going to give Super Viper the lead right here.
Super Viper flexing right now. Camilo looking a little shaky, making some weird mistakes, but definitely can pick it up.
And we can see that Super Viper is already 1 entire star ahead, and he is going to go for his last star in LLL. Camilo still needs to get 2 before leaving this stage.
And Super Viper's last star, Reds, one of the fastest stars in LLL, taking some comfy movement over here, but showing us a nice speed kick before that 3rd red, and excellent performance on these Reds. Camilo, once again in the volcano. A lot of lava. It's kind of scary, but he does get that star. Has 1 more. Super Viper moving on.
And he's going to be moving on to HMC. For those who don't know, HMC, Hazy Maze Cave right here, does not actually have any ceilings, which means that if you want to get from one room to the other, you could use the door like a chump, or you could jump over the wall and just go on to the next room. He's going to show us exactly how to do that right here by doing a triple jump onto the box. This is affectionately called box jump. Misses it the first time, manages to get it the second time.
It's crazy.
Right onto the star.
That's like and a crazy thing is if you go too far forward there's actually a death zone. So you need to make sure to hold back before going to the star. If you just hold straight towards the star, you will die and you will not be very happy. And it does happen. Definitely could see it in one of these races throughout this tournament, but Super Viper not letting it happen to him, and Camilo lining up, but just missing it a little bit there.
He is going to opt to do another route. He is going to go up this wall, and he is going to do what we call the Christmas miracle, which is falling...
But not getting the Christmas miracle!
That's unfortunate. However, we have the very consistent strat of double jump and kick against the grate that gets him to the button and to open the grate right away.
Nice backup. Only losing a couple seconds there. Super Viper moving around. Not dilly-dallying here in HMC, but actually dallying right there. Misses the wall kick timing, but goes for a side flip back up. Knows it's not going to work with the Christmas miracle because you need to use a triple jump to get it consistently. Just going straight for the backup.
And Camilo attempting to box jump again. This time does manage to get it and is going to fall right onto the star. They will be attempting this. Yep, that is the last time we're going to see that box jump, so make sure you commit it to memory if you are planning on speedrunning this game.
Camilo giving us some nice long jumps, both long jumping. Super Viper moving up past these rocks, not getting any bad RNG, isn't going to get smacked in the face by a rock. Rolls out nicely right into that star, and Camilo right behind him, but a whole star behind him still. Grabbing that star. Hopping out of that stage, taking his hat off, giving his face a good scratch, and now he's going to continue without saving because it saves frames. Has one more star to get. Super Viper heading to DDD.
Yep. For those who don't know, saving actually takes off more frames than you think. It saves about half a second worth of frames, and over the course of a run, those frames add up a ton. Over the course of 120 star run, counting the amount of times that you have to save, it saves about 30 seconds to skip the saves. And over the course of a 70 star run, it's 15 seconds. So you definitely want to make sure you skip that save, even though it's a little risky in terms of having technical problems, your Nintendo 64 shutting off, or things like that, which have happened in tournaments before.
Blue Bob and Lunar Jump in the chat, getting a little restless, unhappy with the commentator, stating that it saves half a second. Here to correct the record, saves about 5 to 5.5.
That is absolutely correct. I apologize. Thank you for the correction, guys.
And Super Viper wrapping up the chests, swimming right into that star. Camilo about to start. These chests are a little weird because you have to hit them while you're kind of facing the front. You have to be like in that general 90 degrees, something like that. But
yep.
So if you try to hit the chest from the back, it won't work. But
that is correct. Also, something interesting about this stage, there are two elements that introduce a massive amount of lag when playing on console. One of them is the whirlpool right in the middle of the stage, and the other one is Bowser's sub. So you're going to see that the players play with the camera really close to them in order to keep those elements off of the screen for as long of a time as possible, so that the Nintendo 64 doesn't have to render them, and thus allows them to play without having to deal with the lag.
Indeed. But still, no matter what camera you have, once you're on this sub, it's kind of a laggy mess. Super Viper launching into that star, just has Manta Ray left, and Camilo working right behind Super Viper, not making any mistakes, wants to get back in the lead.
And Super Viper going for the Manta Ray star. And for those who don't know, this Manta Ray star is extremely trolly. They have to go through 5 of those rings, but it is not guaranteed that those rings are actually going to register that they went through them. Super Viper getting it no problem, but I've seen a lot of runners apparently missing the first ring, even though they clearly went through the middle, and having to redo the whole thing because the hitboxes are just that finicky.
Yeah, the hitboxes for the Manta rings are straight garbage, but for whatever reason, the first 5 work pretty well. So as long as you can get the first one, then you are Gucci gang. Super Viper in another lava level here. Showed some pretty good work in LLL. Gonna probably go for lava boost early Ellie's. One of the hardest movement options available. Requires a lot of practice, and Super Viper killing it right now. A lot of little things that you don't really notice.
Yep. And for those who don't know, Bowser in the Fire Sea is also on a very tight timer, similarly to Bowser in the Dark World. They have to get up to that elevator that you can see on Super Viper's screen right now as fast as they possibly can. It seems like Super Viper is going to manage to get the fast cycle here. Let's see if he manages, and yes, he manages to get the fastest cycle. Hopefully Camilo will get to the elevator before it starts going down.
Yeah, Super Viper landing that cycle there, not quite getting the lava boost that he could have had, getting a little dusty rollout on that one red coin. But Camilo, looking like he wants lava boost Ellie's right now, is definitely in a good position because Super Viper just lost a good chunk of time, and Camilo going for the long jump, getting that boost, clipping right up on that ledge, giving him a lot of speed. And Camilo, but Camilo missing the wall kick in the same position now as Super Viper, and almost had that glimmering in his eyes, but just a little bit not quite ready for it. But not dying. Keeping his composure. Super Viper winding up. Does kill that Bowser this time. Struggled a lot, if you remember, on the first Bowser. Couldn't really get him to hit the bomb, but no problem here on the second Bowser. Gonna get that key. And Camilo right behind him once again.
And Super Viper achieves the key at 29:23. We will have to see what time Camilo gets the key at in order to compare their lags and make sure that we see exactly how far apart they are. Camilo going for the first Bowser throw. Let's see how well he does. Doing the Bowser throws in this particular stage is more complicated because even though Bowser is closer, he spins the fastest out of all 3 Bowser fights.
Really?
Apparently so. That's the information I have, at least. I don't run this game, so anything could happen. And Camilo getting it at 30 minutes flat, which means that they are at about 37 seconds apart. That is an rather interesting lead at this point in the race, because even though that is very hard to make up if none of them make huge mistakes, as they go to places like Tall Mountain and upstairs, and TikTok Clock especially, they are going to be fighting tooth and nail in order not to die. And if one of them dies, that could give the other the lead immediately.
And Super Viper already missed his 1 coin that he can miss here. If he misses another coin, he's going to have backup box. And just barely missing the triple jump there, but he knows how to move Mario. He's aware of the situation, does a nice triple jump back up. Getting these coins quickly, and Camilo punching boxes, getting some coins. Super Viper pressing that switch. And spawning that star. Looking pretty good so far. Struggled a little bit on the blue coin switch. Camilo missing the punch here, but does hit him on the head. He's trying not to miss the blue coins there. You don't really have a lot of time to get them. And Camilo also missing a coin here in the beginning. Super Viper has to get all those coins. Going for the safe Chucky throw.
And he manages to get his 100 coins and gets his 100 coin star. This 100 coin star is one of 4 that we are going to see in this run.
Camilo bonking here. Can't figure out how to get up there. Sorry.
That's going to cost him at least a few seconds. As we were saying, only 4 100 coin stars are going to be done in this run because getting 100 coins usually takes a fair amount of time. So we only do Womb's Fortress, CCM, this one, and TTC. And some runners even decide to route out TTC so that they don't have to do TTC 100.
Super Viper going for some spicy movement here, but does miss the triple jump. Wall kick timing. Is he going to do it again is the big question here. Is he confident? He is. Goes for the side flip, lines it up. Looking really good right here. Does actually press A this time. And Super Viper showing up with the strats.
Yep. However, that fault is going to more or less equalize, even out the problem that ARWYCamilo had when trying to get onto that ledge earlier. So they're going to probably end this stage with about the same kind of separation that they had when they entered.
Yeah. Camilo maybe even gaining some time because Super Viper kind of had a little sloppy bit of 100 and like we saw fell on that triple jump wall kick. But we see Camilo taking a little bit of that slower movement, more comfy strats, cozy. He's warm, like he's wearing a robe and some slippers. Camilo wrapping it up.
And we can see that Super Viper is barely 1 star ahead. He has lost some of his lead. He was 1.5 stars ahead. When I say 1.5 stars, it's what I'm doing is basically looking at the star counts and seeing how far they are in getting their next star. So let's not start any controversy like half an A press is not a thing that exists, guys. You guys know what I mean when I say 1.5 stars, right?
But first we have to talk about parallel universes tonight. Super Viper wrapping it up, moving to that tiny, huge island over there. Camilo's still got 1 more star here.
And Super Viper doing the secrets on Tiny Huge Island first. It is a very, very nice start to watch because at least I think so, because it involves some really, really clean movement, and it just looks amazing when the runner manages to do it right. Now, something not many people know, that ledge grab that Super Viper just did right there, if he had done it on the right side of the star instead of on the left side, that could have meant a very big time loss, because the right side of that island, where that coin is, actually has a teleporter that teleports you back to where the piranha plants are. So if you ledge grab and then get back onto it too fast by using A, it teleports you back and makes you have to hop to the island again.
Camilo with a bonk! And that's very true. And if you do a slow get up, it actually does not teleport you. So that's the proper backup if that happens. But Camilo trying to get up this slope does do it. Super Viper executing those piranhas, not really caring about if they have a family or not, just taking them out and getting his 46th star. Camilo, 45th. Really good race here, really close. And honestly, once we get into Tippy, you'll see what I mean. If it isn't caught up by then, if there aren't already big mistakes, Tippy is a very scary stage, and especially in a tournament match. Super Viper trying to get the double jump, but just kind of choking there, not pressing any buttons, just kind of freezing up and bonking double jump. He's taking some heavy damage here.
That's going to equalize. That's going to get Camilo a lot closer to him.
A lot of time.
He does manage to get up without those problems that he was having earlier. However, now they are barely 1 star apart. That is going to give Camilo at least some time to get closer.
Chat trying to rationalize why Mario should be able to kill these piranhas, but not really fooling anybody. Nobody really buying it. Super Viper going to cash in on that free star from Toad. Toad gladly giving it to him. Not asking any questions. And Super Viper not even wanting to save with that star. Doesn't care too much about it. Saving some time. Camilo knocking those piranhas out.
And Super Viper going into Tall Mountain. Now watch him clip through that mountainside and go behind. There is some water rendered behind the mountainside, and that connects to the water that is higher up. If you swim incorrectly on that water behind the mountain, you can end up falling off of the stage and dying. So that is a slightly risky strat if you don't know the proper movement. However, he does manage to get up, has a little trouble getting up onto the pass, but manages to get his start nonetheless.
Yeah, Super Viper kind of spilling some sauce, letting the cat out of the bag up on that mountain, and just strange occurrence. Sometimes you can just clip right through the mountain. You can just walk through it, no inputs, and that's what just happened to Super Viper, making him have to swim. And Super Viper doing log wall kick, but using a weird camera angle. Camilo getting the waterfall star, pretty tricky. Super Viper right behind him, using some pretty nice looking strats.
That is very true. I've never seen anyone do the kind of camera that Super Viper uses after the lock kick strat.
Yeah, Super Viper getting questioned by both commentators right now, using some shady angles here on this log wall kick. And Camilo also not changing the cam. Commentator just biased because he has his own way of doing the log wall kick, but try not to interfere here. Super Viper getting that box jump. Can die there pretty easily, but does it with no problems.
And
she's a 5 in the chat.
TTM and TTC are TTM being Tall Mountain, this exact stage. They are the two stages with the most invisible walls in them. Invisible walls being geometry that is not correctly programmed, and that ends up creating invisible walls that Mario can bonk against. They are especially prolific in this area that Super Viper is in right now, and there's one even right behind the Lonely Mushroom. You don't usually see it because usually you're coming in from the inside instead of going towards the outside, but those invisible walls, especially in the vine section that Super Viper just went through, can really wreck your movement.
Yeah, you can't. Hard to see these invisible walls. They're invisible, and Camilo going for these reds, opting for these dives on the mushroom caps. Pretty scary movement, but Camilo executing it well. Super Viper showing up, getting breezeless. And Camilo, a lot of lag right now. It's very laggy here for whatever reason. Camilo just getting lost in the lag, can barely move, unable to move quickly, getting the ledge grab, just taking his time here.
That is unfortunately an extremely laggy area of...
And missing the rollout, almost falling off, but knows he has to hold neutral so he doesn't keep his forward momentum when he lands.
That was
Camilo giving us a heart attack.
And we're going to see Super Viper doing some very, very wonderful movement here, going up to Snowman's head.
Spectacular.
This is one of my favorite stars to watch, if only because of that super clean movement with the wall kicks and the triple jumps. It's absolutely great. Camilo going for the breeze strat instead of the breezeless. Which is nowhere near being the intended casual strat, but we gotta go fast.
We go our fastest as we can. using the breeze. And Super Viper timing that ground pound just right, catches that box at the perfect time, making it look easy. Super Viper looking very strong tonight.
Absolutely, he is. He has managed to extend his...
Camilo with an angle not quite right. Isn't going to get enough height there. Gets that ledge grab, but knows what he needs to do. Just turns around and backs it up.
Super Viper still with about a 1.5 2-star lead. He has managed to extend his lead, and Camilo is going to work really, really hard if he wants to shorten it and get closer.
And Super Viper doing SL Reds in 2018. A lot of people are in confusion. This route looking pretty old. Nobody really liking it right now. Losing a free second, but Camilo getting up that snowman's head. Showing off some pretty nice movement. Pretty clean. A lot of things can go wrong going up to the snowman's head.
All right. And Camilo opting to go for SL Reds as well, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to go for
Camilo
star first.
Also catching that ground pound. Superb talent in SL from these players. They're looking great here. It's slick. The ice, there's a lot of snow, but they aren't slipping.
And Super Viper about to do many people's favorite star, the Chill with the Bully. Many people have said on the chat that they love the noise that the bully makes when he is pushed off of the ice.
Camilo missing the jump.
That is going to back up. That is going to be very bad for him. Does manage to use the level geometry to his advantage, but that still lost him about 5 to 10 seconds. That is not good for him. Super Viper going up to TP. And yeah, just using his lead to his best advantage. Camilo is doing a slightly longer start, so we'll have to see exactly how far apart they are from each other. Super Viper entering Rainbow Ride at 4140. Super Viper managing to get that Lakitu bounce very cleanly. Lakitu bounce is a very complicated strat. It involves wall kicking onto that ramp and luring the Lakitu at the same time in order to bounce on it. Camilo managing to get that very satisfying bully kill. And Super Viper already with his first Rainbow Ride star.
Yeah, Super Viper with an excellent cruiser. Looks like he's very confident in his gameplay right now. Camera's looking clean. Uses Mario Cam there the whole time. Honestly, making some good decisions, but Super Viper just not getting the long jump there. Gonna turn around and go to the right side, keeping it safe. Knows he could just keep running in the corner, but wants to not lose any time. Trying to keep his lead. And Camilo right behind him.
And we see that Camilo goes into RR with exactly 1 minute and 3 second difference. So 1 minute at this stage in the race is actually going to be very, very complicated to get back. Camilo going for his own Lakitu bounce, manages to get it. Let's see if he manages to grab onto the pole. It's looking dicey, to be honest.
Camilo going really high on that slope.
But manages to get up anyway. Now, remind me to... Good thing that someone reminded me to tell you guys. If you guys are liking this race, if you're liking the way that these racers are absolutely destroying this level, go follow the runners on their Twitch channels. I know Camilo streams every day. Super Viper also streams very often. So if you go follow them, you're going to get more entertainment. They're going to interact with you in the chat, and they are definitely going to appreciate it.
This is very true. Camilo really only in the tournament to try to get that exposure from speed gaming, but won't last very long in the tournament right now if he keeps making these mistakes. Super Viper cleaning it up in Rainbow Ride. But again, we still need to get through TTC. Super Viper showing a very nice Rainbow Ride, but TTC just as scary, very easy to lose time.
Yep. Now, Camilo must be hoping for Super Viper to take at least one death in TTC, because otherwise it is going to be extraordinarily hard to catch up to him. If that happens, we might see this race be neck and neck up until Bowser.
Camilo grabbing the pole. No one really sure why. Misses the... Just barely misses the... doesn't get caught by that little watchtower thing with the pole sticking out of the middle of it there. Doing backup for swinging in the breeze. And we're getting reports in the chat. Apparently, SuperViper is on PB pace right now. Chizo5, known world record holder. Spreading some information here. SuperViper has reason to be nervous here. Not only because he's on a tournament run, but possibly on PB pace. Side flipping a little early there for those coins.
And this time, ARWYCamilo manages to get the long jump off of the watchtower that we mentioned earlier and goes for tricky triangles. Does not manage to get the movement right on tricky triangles. And SuperViper getting his 100 coin star. Let's see what route he uses to get up on top of the swamp. And he does the wall kicks.
SuperViper making moves happen, but I believe did SuperViper get MIPS? No. Okay, both players opting for going straight to TTC. That's going to save them a second. Camilo just starting what SuperViper finished. Let's see what he's got.
And we can see them. They have a 2-star difference between the two of them. In
Camilo.
this... Yep. Go ahead.
No, he just missed the side flip there.
All right, Camilo going for his own TTC 100. They are both going to get, they are both getting 2 stars, one right after the other. So that is going to make SuperViper's lead. It's staying pretty much consistent, about a star and a half, a star in front of Camilo. So Camilo is going to have to pick it up if he wants to get the star. SuperViper does not quite manage to get that quick star get. Ground pounds before he gets it and has to go back for it.
SuperViper going for this time move in, triple jump wall kick. Camilo slipping a little bit, trying to get up here. And gets that star. SuperViper, I think he might be done with his time moving, maybe 1 star. Not sure if he got get a hand yet. Actually, no, he has 2 more and Toad. So he's going to go for the time stop. Has to wait for the hands on the clock to hit 12.
So he is probably going to go to... What star is he doing right
Camilo
now?
trying to get that triple jump. Doesn't quite get it. Gets burned. And going for get a hand. Angle just a little bit off, but does not miss the platform. SuperViper a little bit dusty here. Does get that star, though.
Going for moving hands. We'll have to see whether SuperViper decides to go for stop time as well on the reds. Many runners decide to go for stop time because it is much easier, and it appears that yes, he is going for stop time. I know Camilo usually prefers doing stop time reds as well, and to be honest, very, very few runners do moving time reds, and those are impressive.
Yeah, moving reds are kind of insane. The pendulums are just spinning around so fast. You lose your head making your head spin. Pendulums moving quick, and SuperViper get that red coin star.
We have a quick question in the chat. Why the race is set at 70 stars if there is a significant breakpoint there? Yes, in fact, 70 stars is the minimum of stars that you need to get.
Camilo getting blasted by the flame!
Yep. And Camilo falling off. That is going to cost him a massive amount of time.
Big time loss here!
And SuperViper getting his last star, managing to go up to Bowser in the Sky. If SuperViper does not fall in Bowser in the Sky, this is his race to win right now. Camilo's still about 3.5 stars behind. He is going to have to really, really pick it up and not make any more mistakes if he wants to have any chance at all. And even then, he's going to have to rely on SuperViper making at least 1 mistake and falling to his death here.
Yeah, SuperViper going to probably need to fall in Sky a couple of times. Camilo, I mean, SuperViper just really executing well, and Tippy didn't ever give up his lead once he had it. And it was just hard for Camilo to get an opening. SuperViper demonstrating some faster strats. But SuperViper, trying to get this triple jump wall kick here. gets it 3rd time's the charm.
Deciding to go left side. Right side is slightly more complicated, but saves a small amount of time. However, it's a time he does not need right now. He is very much in the lead, and he is going right into Bowser throws. Now, Bowser throws, they are very complicated. They have spoiled many a run. However, I do not think he is going to lose enough time to allow Camilo to
bumping
catch
into
up.
Bowser there. And SuperViper, I think, was on PB pace going into Sky. And maybe that's where we saw the failure on the triple jump wall kick there, because he had been looking pretty consistent. Camilo wrapping up reds. Also only has Toad left. Camilo on PB pace right now as well.
That is absolutely correct. Camilo's PB is 53.12 and SuperViper's is 50.18. So SuperViper has just passed his PB. Sadly, he is not going to get
SuperViper can't land the throw.
That is very unfortunate. However, Camilo might actually get a PB. So even if he doesn't win this race, he might make his race worthwhile. SuperViper finishing off his throw and about to grab the star. And SuperViper finishes in 1st place.
Wrapping it up with a 50-46, not even a minute off of his PB. SuperViper came here with a goal in his mind. He wanted that W, and Camilo on actual PB pace here.
And we are going to see if we can get SuperViperT302 into the chat to have a good interview for this amazing race.
Oh, Camilo just missing the timing on that elevator, and that's going to cost him big. He's taking a spill, falls all the way down to the sky.
That is extremely unfortunate, especially since he was on such a PB pace. He is still about a minute and a half away from his PB, so if he clutches the rest of the stage, he might manage to get it, but at this rate, I don't think he's quite going to manage it. And here we have SuperViper for an interview. GG SuperViper, that was an amazing race.
I cannot believe I just got a 50 in that run. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, especially since your PB is what, 50-18? You were about 30. You got what, a 50-48, right?
50-46.
50-46. So you were 28 seconds away from your PB on a tournament race.
I could have actually PB'd going into Sky.
Yeah, you did have a couple small mishaps there with the left side triple jump, but you were very, very close indeed. Like, that was an amazing race.
Yeah, definitely. So Simply, how's that for your first impression of watching me?
SuperViper, dude, honestly, okay, I've known SuperViper for a while, it feels like, because you've been in my chat for a very long time, but when I saw you in the tournament, I was like, wait a second. This guy's good, and then I looked at the leaderboard, and you have a 50-18. I'm like, mad respect. And this show, dude, not even a minute off your PB. That was some excellent gameplay. You were looking really clean.
Until this point, it's been a 51-55. So, yeah. I kind of went a little more full out than I was hoping I would for these tournament races. Like, I went for the white draw with TJ wall kick, which I don't normally do in tourney races. And I also went for breezeless because the fans.
Yeah, I saw breezeless. Had to do it. So you streaming often? Sorry.
Not really. I stream whenever I feel like it. Really, I'm gonna try to do it more often though. I'm really, really appreciating how consistent my gameplay has been recently. Like, I'm ready for 49. It feels like.
Big news.
And Camilo finishing the race barely 3 minutes after SuperViper. Hello, Camilo. GG. That was a great race.
GG, Camilo.
Dude, you're on PB pace going in the Sky, right?
Yo, Milo, you got your mic turned off.
Camilo, not able to figure out his mic right now. People hoping he can get it sorted out. Hello.
I'm disappointed that I didn't get boost Ellie's in this round. That would have made it that much more epic.
Yeah, it looked like you were about to get it, and then you had a dusty rollout. That's what happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and also I got the side flip into 3-wall kicks.
Yeah, can you still make it with that?
I think you can. You can, like, barely make it if you do that.
Okay. Reports coming in from the chat. Milo's mic was hacked.
All right, so we are going to have to see if Camilo can get his mic to work. In the meantime, Viper, what would you say was your highest point of the race?
I don't know, actually. Probably... I couldn't say, honestly. Like, this run was pretty much solid throughout. I got 2 golds during this run. I got 1 in DDD and 1 in SL. I think combined... Hold on, let me look. My DDD gold was by 0.8. My SL gold was by somewhere close to a second. So I think I improved my sum of best by around a second this run. So I have like a 40. I think I'm going to check, actually. Hold on. Actually, I'm just going to keep it. I probably have a 48, 41 sum of best now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I'd just say overall this run was very balanced throughout. I'm very happy with how I played overall. Allroad asking how long have I been running SM64? I started back in like late 2013, early 2014. Before in December of 2014. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of explain W-split. My computer actually can't install live split. So I use W-split.
Yeah, there we go. Camilo, we can finally hear you. GG, that was an amazing race.
What's going on, boys? GG Super Viper. Nicely done.
Yeah. The race I've done today. Beat the times of both of those races earlier. I think I got low 51s in both races earlier today.
Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. This whole tournament's been a lot of fun. And yeah, best of luck to
this
you,
tournament's been a lot of fun.
Super Viper.
Next, in other words, oh boy, that's going to be a fun one.
Were you on
pace? Solid runner, so good luck with that.
Wait, simply, who are you asking what?
Camilo, were you on pace to PB going into Sky?
I'm not sure. I was skipping all of my splits, but when I died, I had like the timer was going down like close to a minute. So I don't know if I could have gone into the pipe.
I guess.
And then done throws clean. Maybe I could have, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a bad run for me until that point. I was pretty happy with it until Sky.
So the closest I was to my PB, I was +8 on it after LLL, and the farthest I was from it, it was +27.9 after TTM. And I finished +27.7. So, definitely.
Nice.
All right, so Camilo, you also had a very, very good race, and you only ended like within about a minute of your PB, which is very impressive It was very impressive from both of you guys for a tournament setting. What would you say was your highest point of the race?
The first few stars in TTM were good, and then I kind of messed up Reds. I almost died at the end of Reds, but yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, I got a Lava Boost early Ellie's in Fire City, which was cool, and then again I messed up like the ending, but yeah, there were a couple of moments in there. Oh, and Snowman's Head, the second try on Snowman's Head. I love getting that star because it's so freaking annoying, but full of spots in there.
I'm jealous that you got boost Ellie's. I just got normal early Ellie's, and I like barely soaked it.
Yeah.
He got lava boost, but then yeah, dude, the side flip rip.
Yeah,
there was a lot of opportunities, but then like sealing the deal can be hard.
I golded Fire Sea twice in 2 races. I golded it 2 runs in a row today.
God Gamer alert!
Improved that split by like 0.8 seconds today. Improved that gold by like 0.8 seconds. It was awesome.
All right. So, is there one last thing that you guys would like to add, Camilo? Do you have any parting words?
GG Super Viper. Thank you, commentators. Thank you, Speed Gaming, and everyone who's made this happen. This has been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can do more of this, or other categories like 120. I think that'd be hype. So yeah, thanks so much, and I hope everyone enjoyed the race.
I've been enjoying these tournament races so far. I'm really starting to feel like my consistency is getting better, and I'm really excited to see what my next race is going to be like. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much for the amazing race. It was an absolute blast to commentate. Ash, it was an honor to join this race with you. Chat?
Absolutely, I can say the same. I think the chat liked us together. We might be able to do some more in the future.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's do it. Love you. All right, do we leave now?
All
All
right.
right,
Yeah.
so GG
Bye,
to the
everybody.
runners.
See
you
Thank you
guys.
so much. And I do have a question for you. Simply,
Hit me with it.
do you like Zelda?
What kind of Zelda are we talking about?
Zelda in general. This is a lead up.
I do like Zelda. Hit me with the
Well,
next one.
You're in luck because up next on Speed Gaming we have 3 Zelda races at the same time.
Oh, that transition though. All right, I'm going. Bye.
Yeah, I'm out.
Camilo, not really interested in Zelda. Gonna have to head out now. Only wants to hear about Mario. Knows every other game is kind of garbage. And
All right, so chat. See you later, Milo. All right, so chat. If you like, if you like Zelda, you are absolutely in luck. Right now on Speed Gaming 3, you can still catch the Link to the Past Randomizer daily race. They are doing a key sanity run, and it's only been an hour since they started, so you should be able to catch it real soon. They should not be done with it by any means. If you like Zelda 1, though, you have 2 opportunities to watch it, both at 9 p.m. EST, at 9 on Speed Gaming 1. So right here, you have the Zelda 1 any % showcase race. And on Speed Gaming 2, at the same time, you have the Zelda 1 randomizer tournament between Jay Klasnick and Z-Man5778. So if you want to move on from Mario to Zelda, now's your chance, I guess.
all right, maybe gonna take that option, but we got the Super Bowl. Gonna maybe put both them on the screens and watch them at the same time. But it's been real, Ash. I'll see you around, man.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
night.
much for coming to do this with me.
You as well, man. It was an absolute pleasure. Farewell,
right.
chat. You were a great audience.
And chat, remember, if you guys like these kinds of races, Speed Gaming has a YouTube channel. If you look for Speed Gaming on YouTube, you can just find it, and we upload all of the races about 2 to 3 days after they finish. So if you don't have enough with the Twitch VODs, you can always find us there. Thanks to the runners who gave us an amazing race. Thanks to our restreamer Mythical9 who kept this, and to Fiesel who keeps the show running. And thanks to the chat, to the audience who were absolutely amazing. Am I right, Simply?
Yes, we had some high energy in the chat tonight. It was very, very fun.
All right, so with this, we're going to sign off. My name has been Ash Aria.
And I am Big Simp.
And until next time, good luck, have fun.
Farewell.